My name is Max. I'm a senior at Stanford University where I study international relations. I'm the community manager in the loosely Slavic-themed house where I live with 49 of the coolest and weirdest people you will ever meet. I teach spin classes, I like concerts and brunch, this is my room, this is my poster of Drake, this is the futon I found in the closet downstairs, and this is my show. Following opinions do not represent the official views of Stanford University or any of its associated divisions. This program is in no way sponsored or officiated by Stanford. Hi, welcome! My guest today is my gintastic friend, Lucy, who lives here with me in Slav. We are here to talk today about hookup culture at Stanford. What is hookup culture at Stanford? What does it look like? What even is, like, hooking up? What is this term, what does this phenomenon mean?
Like, hooking up, I think, means something different to every person.
Okay, so let's get some definitions out.
Like, to me, I define hooking up as doing something lying down.
The definition is just like a sexual act.
It's like a sexual encounter.
With someone else.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
You can't really go
not
with
like
yourself.
No, I mean, some people would say you can, but no.
At Stanford, I think this, like, traditionally takes the form of, like, casual hookups between people who meet
at most of the time, I think, meet at, like, frat parties or co-op things. There's this, like, concept of, like, tryna. Like, Are you going out? Like, are you tryna with this guy? Are you trying to hook up with this girl? Everybody has these, like, hormonal urges that they want to get out.
Right.
And, like, hooking up is one way to do that, especially because now there's, like, more female agency to do so.
Right.
So, like, girls can kind of take control of, like, their own, like, sexual encounters and, like, do what they want. Where probably generations ago, like, that wasn't as accepted.
Right. I think this idea of female agency is, like, so key to understanding this phenomenon. Although there's obviously power dynamics in sex, there's a lot of work to be done in that area.
Right.
We have these situations where, like, men and women are both actively and acceptably going out and, like, looking for sex. So how did we get to this point where it's okay for women to, like, actively pursue sex, but it's not okay for them to actively pursue the emotional attention of a guy?
I mean, I feel like it is okay. I think a lot of girls aren't comfortable doing that. I think it's, like, this weird reversal where before we used to think that, like, sex was something that was so special and, like, so shared between two people who, like, really loved each other or whatever. And now it's, like, sex is almost way less, not less special, but it's, like, it requires less vulnerability, I think, to a lot of girls than asking somebody out would.
You hear often about this thing called the Stanford Duck Syndrome that says that Stanford students kind of have to project this image of calm and collectiveness. Perhaps Stanford kids just are not willing to be emotionally vulnerable because it makes them look weak. It makes them look like that they are not these indestructible
people. Yeah. Going out on a limb and telling someone that you like them or that you want to go on a date or you want to even just get to know them better requires vulnerability, and it kind of, like, destroys that duck syndrome, like, that image that you're perfect and you have everything together and that, you know, you don't need someone else. Something that I've noticed that's so odd to me are, like, two people will hook up and then they, like, won't speak to each other outside of the bedroom.
Yeah!
And I'm like, what is, like, are you serious? Like, you can't say hello? Like, you can't be cordial? I mean, I can understand maybe not being friends, but, like, I just find that to be so odd.
Especially when we are so socially embedded with one another and we, like, know things about each other's friends and about, like, where each other lives, and, like, still we see each other at Starbucks and can't say
and, like,
hi.
You're naked with this person, like, you know, or at least, you know, it depends on, I guess, how far you go, but, you know, you've done intimate things, and, like, to not say hello, it's just kind of, like, I don't get it.
Is it part of the Stanford academic experience to develop emotionally? Is that even something that we value?
There's so many people that, like, are doing so many different things that, like, emotions are kind of just, like, an extra, like, burden to bear.
Right.
And so I think that the Stanford experience with the quarter system, with everything being so fast-paced, like, doesn't really allow for you to sit with your emotions and, like, kind of reflect. People are like, well, you know what, I just can't deal with that. I have so much other shit going on.
So I'll just hook up with somebody.
Hook up with someone.
So amongst the undergraduate community, people aren't dating. Like people are hooking up, they're not dating. Is the casual dating, I guess it goes back to our discussion about vulnerability. People here are not willing to be emotionally vulnerable enough to ask someone on a date.
Like, I'm one of those people that, like, that sounds scary to do that. But when I think about it more, like, what's so scary about being like, you're cool, like, I like hanging out with you, I'd like to get to know you more?
Is it a fear of rejection?
I think so. Like, that would be my
fear. And is it exacerbated here at Stanford because kids are so used to I guess, not being rejected.
I think so.
Let's talk about Tinder quick. So Tinder
real quick.
Tinder real quick.
First of all, it's like fun. Like you're looking through these, like it appeals to our sense of just like being superficial.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, is this
and
person
instant
cute?
gratification.
Yeah, it's like you like quickly swipe.
I think an interesting thing about Tinder that's perhaps a positive twist on it is that, you know, we're talking about this gender binary that kind of prevents women from like initiating relationships and places a lot of the responsibility on men and doesn't give women a lot of agency. Tinder is pretty mutual.
It's very mutual. It's like, I mean, because you both have to like each other, right, to be matched. But again, like I think that there would be girls that be hesitant to start a conversation, and the guys who
Right.
feel like it's
Still
their
have to
responsibility. Yeah, and also Tinder like has that, you know, that reputation as a hookup app. But like some people have found relationships.
Oh yeah. In summary, let's talk about whether or not this hookup culture and this lack of emotional vulnerability is unique to Stanford and unique to our culture here, or is it something just faced by all people in our generation?
This culture of like instant gratification with like the internet, with Tinder, you know, with all these things that are like very much like we can get what we want real quick. But at the same time, like I think part of it is Stanford. We have this quarter system which people can use as an excuse to not have time. Again, like don't know how much I believe that.
Don't.
Like do
I
not.
don't
Like if you like
believe
someone, like you will make time for them. But the vulnerability piece.
Vulnerability, these very high achieving people who have not really faced a ton of serious rejection in their life.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the prospect of like being rejected by someone emotionally is very real.
Yeah, and it's like shatter. I mean, it's embarrassing when you get rejected. I think we need to maybe take some of that embarrassment off. So somebody, you know, doesn't like you back in that way, like it's okay. Like there's other fish in the sea. Like we need to kind of try to step out of our comfort zone, especially girls. Like if you like someone, like don't be afraid to be like, hey, do you want to get coffee? It doesn't need to be like this whole thing.
And guys, if someone asks you out for coffee, like go to coffee. That means absolutely
coffee means nothing. Yeah, and like at the same time too, like if you want a hookup and you feel like it can purely be that, then go for it. Like absolutely sex positive,
sex
like
positive,
sex positivity, like you do you. But again, like take those risks, you know, because we've taken so many other risks in our lives in terms of like academics, athletics, like art, like everything else. That like why in this area of our lives are we so hesitant to do so? And
to develop ourselves in this aspect of our humanness.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have something to contribute to this discussion, if you agree with some of the things we've said, if you're from another university and you've had similar or different experiences, whatever, please comment. Very valuable to hear your opinion. We want to keep this discussion going. Thanks, Luce, for joining.
Thanks, Max, for
inviting me.
We'd love to have
you back soon.
We'd love to come back soon. Thanks, guys.